Welcome to Lost on Purpose. No plan, no clue, no problem. You've landed in a new country. You're tired. You've been sitting on a plane for 10 hours. It's the longest you've ever been on a plane. You haven't slept. The baby's cried. There's turbulence. Your neighbor bumps you. Everybody has to get up to go pee. And then when you land, you don't know the language of the country. You don't know what the currency is about. You don't know how much things should cost, and that worries you. And that's exactly when scammers love to meet you. The truth is, most scams don't happen because people are dumb. They happen because people are distracted. Welcome to Lost on Purpose. My name is Dustin, and I'll be your travel expert. We're on our way to 1 million subscribers. Please subscribe and share. It really does help the algorithm. If you agree with anything I say in this video, please comment agree down below so we know that you're listening, because I can't make these videos for that nobody's listening. So I look forward to seeing your comment. So today we're counting down the top 10 travel scams that catch millions of travelers every year and showing you how to avoid them, because getting lost on purpose is fun for some and a nightmare for most. And if we can mitigate that and turn the nightmare into fun, your trip is even better. Getting separated from your money is not fun, and we don't want you to do that. So starting with number 10, it's free scam. You're walking down a tourist area when someone smiles and hands you a bracelet. Maybe it's a flower, maybe it's a prayer card, maybe it's a CD, maybe it's a small souvenir. They insist it's a gift, free, take it. For you, my friend. The second you touch it, the conversation change. They want money. Now they're creating a scene. They're screaming. They're upset. You're stealing from them. And now they're counting on you being uncomfortable. And here's the rule. If a stranger hands you something, don't take it. You don't need to be rude. Just keep walking. One of my favorite travel rules is the most expensive things in the world usually start as free. So number 9, the fake tourist information centers. Usually you're looking for directions, you're lost, and then out of the corner of your eye, you see this big bright sign that says tourist information. And in the US, we don't have tourist information, we have information centers. And they have pamphlets and, you can get information there. But outside of the US, those don't exist. And you'll have somebody trying to drag you in, and they're fake. They're just trying to sell you tours and transportation and hotels. They're trying to sell you something. And the easiest clue is legitimate tourist offices rarely have employees standing outside yelling for customers. If somebody's trying to aggressively pull you in, that's your first warning sign. Every place I've been, somebody's trying to move you in, that's a warning sign. So do your research before you arrive and know where the official offices are, if there are any. Number 8, rental scooters and motorbikes. The scam has emptied countless wallets. You rent a scooter, everything seems fine, you ride it for 2 days, you bring it back, and suddenly the owner discovers damage. A scratch, a dent, a cracked panel, something that may have been there the entire time, but you didn't notice. Why? Because it's not your bike. You've never seen this before, so you don't know what the normal bike looks like. And now they want hundreds of dollars, like, you need to replace this. And then you've given your passport as collateral. Never leave your passport. Leave a deposit. If they won't take a cash deposit, then find somebody else. There's a million people that rent motorbikes and scooters and whatever else. Pro tip, always get a receipt if you've handed cash over as a deposit, even if it's a handwritten note, and they will want to see it. If you can't produce that, they will not pay you. It's very important. And also, instead of rushing off, spend 3 minutes to record a video and take pictures of walk around of the vehicle or your bike. That could save you hundreds of dollars. It's a quick documentation. They can't dispute it. 7 is card skimming. This is one of the scariest ones because you don't know it still happened weeks later, and you can find out all your money got drained. What you do is there's a hidden device that skims the card number off an ATM or a payment terminal in the store, or even I've seen them on ATMs. You insert your card, everything seems normal, and then weeks later, charges start appearing from places you've never been before. Try to use bank-owned ATMs whenever possible, but it's not always possible. Remember to cover your PIN, use tap to pay when available, and monitor your accounts while traveling, because the time you discover it, the thief is usually long gone. Pro tip, only use your debit card in an ATM when getting cash for anything else. Also, they now have new features where you can turn the ATM card on and off. So when you need it, turn it on, and when you don't need it, turn it off, and that'll keep people from getting into your money. Number 8 is also part of the money is the ATM conversion. The ATM asks you a question. would you like to convert this to US dollars? And you say, oh, that'd be great. But they're counting on you not knowing what the conversion rate is. And this is a service offered by the ATM, and it gives you a terrible exchange rate. You don't even know what it is. So always decline this. Let your bank handle this, is what the banks do. It's the fear of the unknown, but the banks will make it right. Depending on the country, it can cost you 3 to 15% extra on top of the withdrawal. And most of the time, it's like 15%. And that's a lot of money when you keep drawing cash out. It adds up. So pro tip, use your credit card whenever you can and save your cash for cash only. Also, pro tip, make sure you go back to a bank and get smaller bills because most small vendors don't have cash for your really large bills. So number 5, the random helpful stranger. This is when things get tricky because some people generally are trying to help, but scammers know that too. So when a stranger approaches you and you didn't ask for help, yet somehow they're eager to assist, and then they're guiding you towards a taxi, a shop, a hotel, a tour, just know that somebody's trying to get paid. It's nothing against you. They're just trying to make money. Be polite, smile, thank them, and then just keep walking because 9 times out of 10, there's an ulterior motive. But when you're going someplace, just verify everything yourself. Your best defense is just keep walking. When I was in Bali, they had a lot of aggressive stall salespeople, and they were glued to about 8 to 10 from their stores, and they're trying to get you to come in and to buy stuff. And one time I said out loud, I said, I speak no English. And then they yelled at me, you're speaking English now. And then I said, that's all I know. And I kept walking. So just know they're trying to do their job. And it's not the US, and people are just a little more aggressive because they need to eat. That's a whole nother topic. So number 4, it's sorry it's closed. So when you're walking towards a famous attraction, a local stops you and says the temple is closed, the museum is closed, the attraction is closed today, and then magically they know another place to visit instead. Funny how this happens. The famous attractions seem to be closed every day according to scammers. So notice that people are always intercepting you before you where you want to go. Whether it's a train, a taxi, an airport, a museum, a tourist attraction, don't get turned around. Just walk towards the entrance and verify yourself. It may take 10 or 15, 20 minutes extra, but most of the time you'll discover it's open. And this is just part of the journey. The next one, number 3, this is a big one. Deposit for hotels, rentals, and apartments. So beware. Finding stuff online. You find an incredible deal online. The location is perfect. The photos are beautiful. The price seems almost too good to be true. Remember this, too good to be true. Fails every time. They're going to ask you for a deposit or a hold or a cleaning fee. They're going to create this sense of urgency. If you don't pay them right now, it's going to go away. Just be aware there's lots of hotels, lots of whatever. There's lots of stuff everywhere. It's not the last one. Just be aware of handing your money over to strangers. Especially if you want to look for like an Airbnb or the larger companies, you're going to make a deposit through the website. Never send people money direct because they have it and they're gone. You'll never see them again. Just use reputable booking platforms. And like I said, Agoda, Bookings, Travelocity. And if you have like a larger hotel chain, use the parent company website to book. They're never going to ask you money sent directly to Joe Schmo. And be suspicious of anybody that pressures you to pay immediately. This goes for anything in life. Just slow down and ask questions. So number 2 is a currency exchange. Cash is king, so they're going to attack that first. Money exchange scams have happened in many forms. They'll do a bad exchange rate and you won't know the hidden fees, and then they'll shortchange you and they'll use counterfeit currency. And the scam works because you're unfamiliar with the money and the conversion. These people know exactly how to count the money because that's what they do all day long. They don't miscount. You miscount. Always count your money before leaving. And if you have any questions, ask them to count it again. And know approximately what the exchange is before you arrive. Look on your phone. It's easy. Look it up. It should be, you can Google convert it for you, and stick with a reputable provider. Sometimes there's a cardboard box and people converting money. And remember, people are trying to make money and they'll take advantage of you if they can. Not that everybody's honest, but there are dishonest people out there. So my number 1 scam is taxis. Taxis. This is the undisputable king of scams. I have so much trouble with taxis all over the world. Just think, you just landed, you're tired, you have luggage, you don't know where you're going. A driver approaches or even meets you getting off a train or right at the front door of your hotel. Then you get in, the meter's broken, they want a flat fee, the route becomes longer. This may not even be an official taxi. The scam exists in almost every country on earth because it targets travelers at their most vulnerable moment. Research average fares before arriving. And if you arrive, ask a local what it costs to get from A to B, and they'll give you a good idea of what it costs. My rule of thumb, use rideshare apps whenever you can, whether it be Lyft, Grab, or whatever is in the country. Less things happen with those, but scams do occur with those. Keep Google Maps open during the ride so you can ride along to see where your destination is and see where they take shortcuts. A long time ago, when I was traveling, I would travel with a paper map that I could usually pick up for free, and I would open it up and pretend to look at it, and that usually kept them on the narrow path of where I need to go. And if I thought they were swerving away from it, I would call them out on it. We want to save a trip into your wallet. The moment you land, the scammers begin working. Don't make it easy for them. Traveling isn't about being paranoid. It's about recognizing when somebody is trying to rush you, pressure you, distract you, or separate you from your money. The safest traveler isn't the strongest, the smartest, or the toughest. The traveler who slows down long enough to ask, does this make sense? At the end of the day, you're going to run into one of these scams. You may possibly fall for it because you've been tricked. Don't let it ruin your trip. Instead, let this be an adventure you can tell over and over and over, because adventure doesn't always create a smile when you're having it. The smile comes when you remember it. Oh man, I survived. This is why I say adventure, because it's most memorable because it's not. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Lost on Purpose, and remember, getting lost on purpose creates stories. Until our next adventure, be safe and be smart.